Hello everyone. In today's lecture, we have a lady and a gentleman making their presentation. It is for you to analyze the presentation in accordance with the parameters discussed in the presentation skills. We will be happy if you could share your views regarding the presentation in the forum. Thank you.
Good morning everyone. So today I am going to present before you all a topic which I feel very strongly about, something that holds a lot of relevance in today's society when we have been smothered by patriarchy for so many years. So without much ado, let me start with what feminism means in general, what relevance it holds, and how it came into existence and what shape it has taken today. Let's talk about the dawn, the beginning of feminism, how it came into existence, why it came into existence. So you can call it a revolution, a political, a cultural, an economic, a social revolution, anything. It started off when these two women, Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Lucretia Mott, these people were denied seats at a convention center, which, imagine how demeaning it is for women to not be allowed a place a seat at a public place. We are not animals, right? We are people, we are equals. This is what sparked the fury. This is what sparked the actual, incited the anger amongst women that we need to hold equal status, equal relevance in the society. People have campaigned after that, even before that at a very small scale, but after that people started campaigning for legal rights. People started campaigning for their integrity, the freedom to express themselves, women, freedom to express themselves in front of people openly, freedom to express their sexuality, and it came in waves. Just like everything starts from somewhere, transforms into something, it came in waves. The first wave of feminism can be dated back to 19th century and the early 20th centuries, which was generally about women's suffrage and legal inequalities. That is, suffrage was when women were not allowed to vote. Women were not given the basic right to actually take part in legal activities. They were not allowed to, like the example of not sitting in a convention center. Then came the second wave, which was furthermore, it actually targeted cultural inequalities, how they were, the culture, how it demeaned them, how it showed them in a, in a lighter note. Women were not considered as important and as relevant as men. Then came the third wave, which is ongoing. In fact, the ongoing wave is a much higher version of the third wave. It can be termed as the fourth wave, but the third wave has ended like a couple of years, like a decade ago maybe, and this wave actually targets sexual liberation. Women now have the freedom to openly express their sexuality, how important they are globally, how much they can assert themselves, how they can take decisions. They are CEOs of big companies, they're managers, they are taking charge in the corporate world. This all has been tackled in the third wave. So let's come to the fear of feminists. Why are we being feared today? Why are women who stand up for women and their rights being feared? See, feminism is not about women overshadowing men or women taking charge and dominating men. Feminism is about bringing women from here to here where we are equal to men. But why is that fear there in the society? Why are we being, people are being scared of us? There are some myths and there are some facts. The myth is feminism is considered that women want to gain power. They want to gain a status where they can actually, just dominate the men around them, make them do things according to their own wish. But the fact is, women were always at a lower pedestal in the society. They were always dominated, and they need power to come to an equal status, not to surpass their status. Also, it's not about dividing the society into men, women, and making the men feel inferior. It is actually about equality and respect. Also, it's not that men are not feminists. Men are feminists. Men who stand up, who have the spine to respect their women, respect their wives, their mothers, their daughters, their sisters. They are feminists. They are not spineless men. What is the perception today? All of us use social media. We see the term feminazi. What is that? It is actually how feminists are being perceived today as Nazis, people who have slaughtered and killed, Jews during the Holocaust. But we are not that. We are not torturing anyone. We are just standing up for our rights. We are standing up for what we believe we should get and what we deserve. It's not about, it's all about getting the right education, getting the right freedom, getting the right power, getting the right opportunities. It's not about taking the opportunities and actually dominating others. See, people feel that women who don't believe in marriage, women who are just, who feel that divorce is the solution during marriages, women who are commitment phobic, they are feminists. But that is not so, that is a wrong perception. Women who are standing up for themselves because they are being wronged, they are the feminists. But again, one cannot fight the perception that is there in the society. So the feminists today are the fourth wave feminists, as I explained in recent times. They are the ones who are at the helm, leading everything. Look at all the banks across India. All the top chairpersons are women at this day and time. So we are the fourth wave feminists who are standing up for jobs, who are standing up in politics, who are doctors, engineers and whatnot, building roads, driving cars. So we are the fourth wave feminists, the feminists who are no more fighting for equality, but who are actually there equal to men and maintaining what we have, maintaining and preserving what we've been able to achieve. So pseudo-feminists or feminazi, as I told you, the myths that are attached to feminism, these are people who claim that they are feminist, but they are not actually taking it in the right manner, right, positively. They are not taking the word positively. They are not believing that what feminism means. They do not. I can give you an instance where feminists, people perceive that they are feminists, people believe that they are feminists, but that is not true. I have friends, I have people around me, women around me, who feel that we are working, we are working class women, we are doing jobs, yet they feel that by putting down their husbands, belittling men around them, they are the feminists. So women going topless, like why can we not go topless if men can on the beach? They are not feminists. Feminism is not about doing what men do and doing everything that men do. It is about doing what we deserve to do and what we should do. So the thought has to change, the concept has to change, the fear has to go away, and whatever we have been able to achieve, we should not throw it away just because of this false notion of feminism that we hold today. Men and women must coexist as equals, and it is okay for a woman to pay money in a restaurant, to open the door of the car if a man wants to come out, and it is okay for women to respect their men as much as the men respect them. This is what I believe feminism is all about. Thank you.
Hello everybody. Today I shall talk about a topic that is intimate to my heart, to your heart and to everyone's heart. It's about love and intimacy. So we come across love, right, in daily lives, in movies, in literature, but how do we perceive it? Is it an object, a thing, a feeling, an emotion, a state of mind? what is it? It's a chemical reaction, a biochemical reaction, what exactly it is. So let's try to get into it and understand love from maybe a psychological perspective or maybe a psychosocial perspective. Let's see. So what is the agenda today on the meeting, on the presentation? I'll talk about love and I'll talk about being in love and how can you distinguish between when you love someone and you are in love, and how can you be aware or conscious about that you are in love or you love somebody. And then maybe there's a situational position, okay, there's a love matrix that people may not be aware of, and how do you position yourself in it. So let's carry on. This was a theory by Sternberg. It's a psychological theory that talks about different precepts of love and how in various degrees of combinations you experience love. So you can see there are three precepts: passion, intimacy and commitment. Now if you have all of them in equal proportions, you experience consummate love. That is the love you're supposed to expect out of a marriage, okay. Other than that, all through your life, from college, school, work, the day you're born to the day you die, you keep on feeling all the other stuff. You get infatuated, you feel empty love at times, you have a fatuous love, you have a liking for some people, and then you have companionate love and romantic love. You can see the presets, and as you can see in the triangle, the various degrees on where it reaches to, and it's basically a combination of various presets. I've talked about this as I've shown in the diagram. Passion. What is passion? Now passion is the sexual desire. Obviously when we talk about love, the first thing that comes to our minds are the movies and how they show it, and that shows about attraction. The first attraction is the girl and boy, or nowadays even boys and boys and girls, and even the third genders if there are. So it's passion. Now passion talks about your sexual desire and your physical attraction, and that's a part of romantic love. When you see romantic love, it's only intimacy and passion. Then intimacy, that's a closeness or connection that you feel with people, and you can also term it as an emotional investment. And the third is commitment. That's commitment to maintain your relationship for long. Now there's some stuff that Sternberg talked about, and it was love changes as we mature. It's not that what the kind of love that we felt when we first saw the partner is the same we feel when maybe if we get married to her, she's 60-65 years old, and we feel the same love about her. It's not that. It changes as we mature. And even when you're in a relationship, maybe a successful relationship and not a toxic one, and you have carried it on for decades, you keep on feeling various degrees of love and various kinds of love. That's what Sternberg said in his theory. And another theory was given by Lee. Now Lee talked about colors of love. He said that love styles are neither dependent nor independent. Now there are these colors of love, and it's a very complex matrix, when I was talking about situational matrix that I'll talk about at the end. So basically he tried to identify 6 colors of love, and Bollywood has done that very magnificently. They have various colors of love. If you hear recent songs, Rang De Tu Muhe Gerua, saffron, and it talks about pink, gulabi. So we all have different colors, and Bollywood has prioritized colors in various ways and the emotion that every kind of love has with a color. So what did Lee talk about? Lee gave his color wheel model of love. You can see pink, eros, that's loving an ideal person. When you see a person for the first time, you think it's perfect or she's perfect. Perfect hair, perfect skin, perfect eyes, perfect nose, everything perfect. No one can be perfect than that person. And then you have mania, that portion of love when you get obsessed by that person. Then there are some people who see love as ludos. That's a game. For them it's a game. They like the feeling of falling in love, and the moment they fall in love, they're out of it because they can't get that essence of it. Then you have pragma, which everyone should actually aspire for. That's realistic and practical love. And then you have storge, that's love as friendship. To get more into the feel of this, let's play a game. These are the colors. I'll pronounce a name, and I would expect an answer in the name of a movie that you have watched and you have experienced that form of love in that movie. So let's start with mania. Tere Naam. Any other? Tere Naam was good, and there was another movie in Hollywood. It was Fatal Attraction, Dar, yeah, And in Hollywood, Fatal Attraction, and in Bollywood, Pyar Tune Kya Kiya, Dar, Tere Naam, Pyar Tune Kya Kiya, all show that. Ludos, love as a game.
Ladies versus Ricky Bell.
Yep. And one more. Lesser known movie, but perfectly bang on the spot. Lesser known actors, low budget movie, love games. That had come over here. Okay, what about Storge?
कुछ कुछ होता है.
Yep. कुछ कुछ होता है, जब we met. प्यार तो होना ही था, and it goes on and on and on. That's Bollywood cashing on it. About a gap, selfless love. Very hit movie, superstars.
Amir Khan and Manisha Koiral.
Man. Another one, very super hit, big banner. Yash Chopra Productions. Veer Zara. That's the perfect example of a gap. Jab Tak Hai Jaan is another one. Okay, so that's thing, and I think we are done with the colors of love, and I think it has transpired perfectly to the audience right now. So we may move next. Now, I think it would be redundant to go across this again because it has been transpired, right? Now you know, when you talk about these colors, it is not just colors. It actually highlights your psychological health. People feel these kinds of love at various points of their life, right? But if you continuously feel manic and ludic love, you know, you have a poor psychological health. Okay? If you feel Storge and Eros continuously, you have a high psychological health. So next time when you think you're falling in love, just remind yourself of this PPT, and maybe you can improve your psychological health. Now, how do you develop your intimacy skills? Okay? Now, when you want to develop your intimacy skills, I would just say one thing. Just try to be intelligent, and intelligent emotionally. And when you are emotionally intelligent, you can actually go through these precepts and find that you can actually adjust yourself better in a relationship. And if the point comes that you have to exit a relationship, you won't be at the latter half. So first of all, be at ease with yourself. Love yourself. If you love yourself, obviously the other person will love you. And self-disclosure and receptivity. Show others that you are approachable. If there is a person in your life whom you want to get into a relationship with, be open to that person. No matter even if you fail, because what's there? Maybe that person was not meant for you. Listen. Now listening is a very important thing in all relationships. Any relationship, listen. Because if you listen carefully, you know what to do, how to do, where to do exactly, and in which degree to do. And then these are the other repetitive things like trust, respect, affection, warmth, which we all know. Now, what isn't love? First of all, I would like to say, what isn't love? You know, when you're falling in love, you have this excitement, which is like shown on screen, like falling of leaves, playing of the violin, and their music, and the hair is flying, hair is fluttering, your heart is beating, and there's nice soft music at the background, but nothing of that happens in real life. Only one thing happens, that is your heart beats, and that's just a physiological manifestation of your body, nothing else. So, when you feel that you're getting attracted to a person, you're basically sexually motivated. Keep that in mind once before you do, because you can't fall in love unless you know a person by heart. That's just, if you go back to the nomenclature, that's just infatuation. Okay? And yes, the honeymoon always ends. So keep that in mind when you go on to a relationship. Dependency is not love. Sometimes when we are in a relationship and we want to get out of it, and then we think that no, what will happen to the other person? That is just dependency. That's not love. You may mistake it for love. You may think that you love that person, and you being there in his life or in her life is good for that person's life. That's not the way, because that's dependency. And what psychologists describe that as parasitism. That is not love. And love is based on choice, not necessity. Now, love is not a feeling. Repeatedly movies have shown us and fed it into our minds that love is a feeling, okay, but love is not a feeling, love is an action. If you take love the way Asians do, for Asians we have names for various kinds of loves. You have, if you go into any of the vernacular languages, your mother-father love has been termed Vatsalya. If you have another love for your lover, that's like Prem. Okay, so you have other words. If you go to Urdu, Mohabbat, and various words, right? So there are various forms of love, and that love is not a feeling, it's an action. The action that your parents do to you, that transpires as love for your parents. The action that your wife or your husband does for you, that is love on that basis. So that exactly is love. And myths of romantic love. Now there is this romantic love that has been popularized, heavily popularized, that there are two people, they are destined to meet together and carry on forever. But that, nothing like that. It's just a hindsight bias. We feel that is the true love because we feel good at that point of time, but it's nothing like that. If you get to know people correctly and you know what exactly you want from your life and what the other person wants from his life, and you all both are in sync together, that's the point you realize that you are in love. And in love means you have to act in love, that's an action. And realistically speaking, there are many suitable partners. So that does not give you an incentive to cheat, but that's a fact. Now, love and being in love. Now love, as I told you, it's a physio-psychological state. It's a state that you perceive, the fluttering of the heart, going breathlessness, going weak in the knees, that's love. But being in love, it's a psycho-neurological conditioned mind. When you stay with a person, you continuously stay with a person, you be aware of his likes and dislikes, that's the point of time you are in love, because you know exactly what to say, when to say, and to which degree to say, so that it does not offend or hurt the other person. Now, loving someone is a choice, but being in love isn't a choice, because you can't choose being in love, because that's a state, you have conditioned your mind as such, and once your neural circuits have become like that, you can't, like, it takes a lot of work to change your neural circuits, right? So that is the thing. And loving someone means wanting them to do well, putting them first. Well, now that also is a neurological conditioning of the mind. And loving someone means needing them around, and being loved means needing them to be where they are happy. Now when you have neurologically conditioned your mind, you are in sync with the other person and you exactly know what the other person wants from his life. Now if you are aware of that, you will act as per that, and that will be for the betterment of the other person. So as the saying used to go, love is not selfish, it's selfless. It has a neurological basis to it. Now, as talked earlier, loving someone is like a rush, being in love is like a steady stream of emotions, because you have conditioned your mind, and it's about partnership, same theory, conditioning your mind, and it's effortless, because once you have conditioned your mind, you won't have that effort. Initially when you see someone and you think you love that person, there's this thing of going around, being proper with them, giving them gifts, talking to them nicely so that they do not get offended at anything that you say. Now see, that takes a lot of effort, right? But when you are in love, you don't mind whether you see that person in his knickers or in a well dapper suit. So that's it. Now I was talking about the matrix of love. Now when I've talked about love and being in love, but that's not so simple, because we are human beings, social animals, rationalizing ones, and with evolution comes variety. And even in the world of love, there's a variety of things that occur. There's monogamy that is practiced by the society to create uniformity, but then you have celibacy, people who don't indulge into sexual acts but then they still love people. Then you have polyfidelity, then you have empty love, common love, you have chastity, soft wing. If you look into the matrix, right, you can position yourself like which love fulfills you, which love completes you. It's not that you need someone else to love, like a dialogue in one of the recent movies, that you don't need permission from someone else to love that person. So just like that. And now this is the more evolved version of the matrix of love. Now that has taken into aspects, the sexuality aspects as well. The previous slide did not highlight the sexuality part, but this slide highlights the sexuality part as well, because sexuality as such now does play an important role in love, right? The love as we fathom it, as the human race fathoms it, because of its value, because of its evolutionary value. So this is the matrix, and well, as a liberal I would like to say that I do not find anything offensive. Well, you can position yourself in any of the aspects over there. Thank you.